there's a new version of OpenTX, and with it comes a whole bunch of really awesome new features that'll make a lot of things really, really nice. Specifically for me, things that have to do with Crossfire. But this video isn't about all those nice, nifty new features. There's already plenty of videos out there for that. What this video is about, updating your radio to the latest OpenTX. But there are already a lot of videos about how to update your radio to the latest OpenTX. So I'm not actually going to be telling you anything about updating the radio specifically. What I'm going to be talking about is updating your SD card contents for the latest version of OpenTX.
Greetings. Excellent.
So there are those who are prominent in the FPV community, who are personalities on YouTube that are generally a good source of information, that update their SD cards in a really confusing way, and which is very prone to having errors. And I'm just not sure why they do it the way they do it when OpenTX provides an extremely useful tool for updating your SD card. So that's what I want to show you. And the specific person I'm talking about, I just finished their video, and I'm not going to say who it is, and some of you will probably figure it out. This is not a knock against that person. I just don't know why they would do this, because clearly in that video that they just released recently, not only was how they were updating the SD card confusing and way more than it needs to be, but that person actually had an error in his video where he had to put an addendum in just to make sure everybody didn't make the mistake he made. So why don't we talk about what OpenTX provides to make this process super easy and just pretty much make it so you're really not going to have any kind of errors. So the tool that I'm talking about is called SD card synchronization. So if you look up here on the top of the screen in the menu, you'll see this icon with a folder and an SD card popping out of it. So let's go up here and click this icon, which has the micro SD card popping out of this folder here, and you get synchronize SD card. And so you have one line here that says local folder, and this is going to point to the folder on your computer which has all of the new SD card contents. And then the radio folder is going to point to basically the radio. When you plug your radio in with the USB cable, and it creates a basically a virtual thumb drive that you can get to the contents of the SD card, that's where this is going to point. Then we have synchronization direction, and by default this is exactly what you want. What we start off with is both directions to destination folder first. And what this means is that if this were the folder on the radio and this is the new folder on my computer, what this means is we're going to update all the files. We're going to copy and update all the files on the radio first. Okay? And what that does is it says, hey, I have a folder here, and the folder's here. Is this one newer than this one? Yes. Delete this one and copy the new one over. And it does this for every single file in the directory that is set up as your local folder, which would have the new SD card contents. After that, and the really cool thing that it does, it says, okay, now let's take this folder, which is on the radio, and copy anything that isn't on in this folder or is older than what's in this folder over to this folder. So basically, you're going to create a brand new backup of the newest SD card contents with all of your files. You see, if you have lots of custom Lua scripts and music and whatever else, what is suggested by some is to copy all of that stuff over to the new SD card contents and delete something or another. It doesn't, it's just, why? Why would you do that? This does it for you. It says, hey, is this file older? Yeah. Overwrite it. Is it older? No. Well, leave that one alone. And then it says, hey, do we have this folder in the over here? No. Well, bring it over there too. It couldn't be simpler than using this tool. So let's kind of show you how to go through this. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn on my radio in bootloader mode. You can't see it. I don't know why I showed you. And I'm going to go ahead and plug in the radio. Give it a second. And actually, we don't need that. And we don't need the other one that popped up. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to close out of this little guy, and I'm going to open it up again after connecting the radio. And what it's done for you is actually pointed to the folder on the radio that it needs to point to update your SD card contents. Now, if you look over here in this little file manager here, you'll see I have basically the same thing that somebody else did. Because a backup is a good thing to have. So I backed up my SD card contents here, and I backed up my radio settings here, so I have them. And then I made a new folder for the newest version here, and I have here, this is the brand new SD card contents here that I just downloaded. And what we're going to do is we're going to navigate and find the new SD card contents, and you'll see it's put it in there. Now if I click start, it's automatically going to start copying the new files over to the radio and replacing only the old files, which is very smart when it comes to updating. But I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to start that just yet, because it's been said that the reason why they don't want to do it this way, or at least use the USB from the radio, is because it can be quite slow, and that's absolutely true. This does take quite a while to run this software while connected to the radio. Personally, I'm in no rush. For me, plugging it into my laptop, hitting go, walking away and letting it do its thing is about as easy as it gets. Usually it's in the evening, I got nothing going on, and I'll just set it and forget it and come back to it, you know what I mean, and just let it do its thing. So I'm not in a rush, and I don't think anybody should be in a rush when they're trying to update their firmware to the latest and not have any errors. But you can do it without using the USB cable to the radio, and I'm going to show you how to do that. Let's do it. So for those of you who want to do it a little bit faster and don't want to use the link to the radio, here's what we're going to do. We're going to disconnect our radio, and we're going to shut off the radio. And I'm just going to set this out of the way over here. Actually, no. First, I'm going to get the SD card out of my radio. And then I'm going to put this down. Put my SD card in a little USB SD card dongle. I'm going to plug it in to my computer there. And then what I'm going to do is go ahead and hit this, and we're going to change the radio folder. And what we're going to change the radio folder to is 4 GB volume, which if we open it up, you can see that this is the contents that are on my SD card. And then here is the new contents, And we're going to do exactly the same thing, but we're not going to be connected to the radio at all. So it's going to do it faster than it would as if you were using the USB cable to your radio. So we're going to click the button and let it go. And look how quick it is. Zoomity zoom, 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 blah, 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 blah. I'm usually not in this much of a hurry, but it's going pretty quick. Now, if you look at the bottom here, you can see how many files are going to be updated, where we're at, how many files were created, how many are updated, how many are skipped, and how many the errors you have. And this is amazing because you're already going to know if you have a problem with a file because you'll have an error. It'll tell you right here. And if we really want to get fancy, we can show the details and look at every file it's copying. Like all of my custom sounds are probably getting copied right now. So this goes just about as fast as if you just copied your SD card to your hard drive right from the SD card. But here's the thing. Doing it this way, I'm not going to have an error. And I'm actually completely updating my SD card and making a most current backup of my SD card with the newest software. Why would you do this any other way? I really don't know. This usually takes a good 5 minutes to do if I plug my radio in it, which isn't that big of a deal. This, it's already done. And I didn't have to plug my radio in to use it. That's great. Awesome. Done. I'm going to eject the SD card. I'm going to take it out. I'm going to put it back in the radio. And we're good to go. I'm going to turn it on and there's going to be an error. But it's okay. The error is going to be because I haven't actually updated OpenTX yet. I'm going to do that after I'm done making this video. I've seen not just the person I'm talking about right now, but a bunch of people on YouTube. They take the SD card out, they copy this folder to that folder. Listen, they give you the tool to do it. Why would you do it any other way? I don't know. Thanks for watching. If this helped anybody, not go crazy trying to copy this and do that and do this, then alright. Okay, so I realize that going through all that and not showing you it boot up without an error, kind of not fair to you guys. So I just got done filming and then I updated this and we're going to go ahead and turn her on.
Welcome to OpenTX.
You can hear the new voice and no errors. Everything works great. Thanks for watching.